Hello, my friends. Today we're talking about planning and desk day. In the classic FlyLady system, planning and desk day is on Wednesday. Planning and desk day has 4 parts. It has food, finances, inbox, and planner. 4 parts. When you first start doing planning and desk day, it's going to take you a while, a couple hours. It's for a quieter day. So it's not a day where you're going to run errands. It's not a day where you're doing a weekly home blessing hour. It's a little 15 minutes of zone work, your regular routines, and then the planning and desk day. So I recommend that if you're a payroll person, you save this for Sunday afternoon. If you're an at-home person, an at-home homemaker, a payroll homemaker, an at-home homemaker, Wednesday, okay? So let's start with part 1, food. Okay, food is where you find it, the fridge, the freezer, the pantry. Food is something that needs to be planned for so that there's no waste. So we're going to start by looking in the refrigerator, and we're going to straighten it up a little because on Thursday, that's when you're going to pick up your groceries or have them delivered. So Wednesday, we're going to open the fridge. We're going to take a warm rag, warm cloth, warm wet cloth, and we're going to rearrange things, throw out things that don't need to be kept in there any longer. They've wilted, or worse, they've been forgotten in the back of the fridge, or it's turned off, or it's expired, or whatever. We're going to get that out, put that in the sink. We're going to handle that in a minute. Now we're going to take this warm cloth and we're going to wipe the glass shelves where maybe the milk circle is, or wipe the jar where the jelly is starting to drip or whatever. Make it look tidy. And then we're going to rearrange everything. Not rearrange, but reconfigure, or not really. We're going to reorganize. We're going to just put that, like if you always keep the milk here, then you might want to say, I want to keep the cottage cheese there too, maybe some of the other dairy products. Maybe I want to keep my leftovers on this shelf or in this drawer. Maybe I want to keep my fruit and vegetables in bins instead of in the drawers. Maybe I want to use the drawers for meat. Doesn't matter. You figure out how you want it to work in your refrigerator, where you're going to keep your salad dressings and your other condiments, and take a look and see what you've got left. Do you need eggs? Write it down. You've got to have a pen and paper. I use a magnetic one that sticks on the fridge, and the pen is laying beside the refrigerator on the counter. And I pick it up and I write as things run out. So you might need eggs. Maybe you need milk. Maybe you need yogurt. Maybe you need some fruit, whatever. Write those things down. Now, look and see what you have left over that you're going to need to use up. That head of lettuce is going to turn pretty soon. Maybe you need to make a salad tonight or tomorrow night. Maybe you need to use that leftover rice in some dish. Whatever you have, make note of those things. Now let's look in the freezer. In the freezer, let's look and see what meats do you have? What starches do you have? What vegetables do you have? What desserts do you have? Kind of keep a note of what's in there in your head. You might even jot it down. Let's go and look in the pantry. What dry goods and canned goods do you have in here that you can use? Okay, write it down or keep note of it. Now let's go sit down and make a menu. As you were looking, things are starting to pop into your head. You've got stuff to make spaghetti. Maybe you can have spaghetti, and you can have salad, and you can have garlic bread. You've got it all. You've got it all. You found the garlic bread in the freezer. You've got that head of lettuce that needs to be eaten. Maybe you need some tomatoes, some cherry tomatoes. So write that on your list. You've got that Italian dressing. It's still good. It hasn't expired. Okay, so you've got everything you need. You've got a jar of Prego sauce. That's going to work. You've got a bag of meatballs, or you've got some ground beef in the freezer, and you have some angel hair pasta, whatever. You can make a spaghetti dinner. So you've got that. That's one meal. Write it down. We need to come up with 4, 5, 6 more meals. A lot of people don't do 7 meals because, frankly, most people find if they plan 7 meals, they end up with 1 or 2 dinners left over. And that's fine, and you can carry them through the next week, but oftentimes you'll discover that you're going to eat leftovers, or that night everybody just wants a grilled cheese and some tomato soup, or maybe you went out to dinner. Not so much nowadays, but still, or somebody grabbed some takeout. So you might have leftovers. So I like to plan, I do plan 7, but those last couple are all freezer items that I don't really have to worry about going bad. I don't worry about having that many fresh things that are involved with those last couple of meals. That's how I do it. Because if I need to carry them over to next week, that's good. Okay, so now we're going to think about all the stuff you've got. You've got all these vegetables, all these meats, or some of these meats, some pastas and potato and rice. And I want you to think about making a menu like a wardrobe. Okay, so if you have a classic wardrobe, you've got classic solid color shirts, you've got classic solid color slacks or skirts, you've got classic cardigans, classic black flats and pumps. You've got some classic things that you can mix and match. That's kind of what simple dinners are. They're classic things that you can mix and match. So you find some vegetables that your family likes, you get 4 or 5 different kinds, and you can mix and match those with your meals. You find a couple of starches that you enjoy, and you can mix and match them with your meals. So maybe you like vermicelli, maybe you like quinoa, maybe you like potatoes. That's 3 good kind of starchy things that you can have. I know that quinoa isn't starch, but you get the idea. It might be. I don't know. I'm not a dietitian. And then you do the same with your meats. And then you can dress them up, just like you put on perfume or jewelry or a scarf. You can dress your meals up by adding barbecue sauce or tartar sauce or a gravy or whatever. Those are the little dressy things that make it a little nicer. And then sometimes we can make a whole layered outfit, a lasagna, a layered salad. You know, there's so many different things that you can, a casserole. It's like layers. It's like when you layer your clothes. Okay, so think of it that way. If you can't think of what to make, think about your clothes as food. I know that sounds a little crazy, but it's an idea. Okay, so that's the menu. So you're making your menu. Don't forget that you need breakfast, lunch, snacks, and dinner. And so breakfast can't be cereal every day. It can't be waffles every day. It needs to be mixed and matched. You know, maybe you're going to have pancakes and scrambled eggs and cereal and oatmeal and another form of egg. Maybe instead of scrambled eggs, you're going to have soft-boiled eggs over toast, or you're going to have bagels and cream cheese. Maybe you want to have some Nova salmon on there, lox. Delicious. There's things you can have. BLT could be breakfast. You know, come up with things that your family will love. We have something we call a Popeye egg. Some people call it a toad in a hole. And it's just a piece of bread with a hole in it. And you put butter in the pan, fry the bread, put the egg in the hole, turn it over. It gets fried into the toast, and you've got a soft egg yolk in the middle of your toast. And the little part that you cut out, you toast that too, and you dip it in there. I'm sorry. I like to eat, and I love preparing food. So if I talk too much about it, I'm sorry. But this food part is real important to your family. And I want it to be important to you too. I know some of you aren't foodie people and you don't care about eating, but your children need to be raised with a palate so that they're not embarrassed when they're older to go out and eat with someone. Or if they marry someone who is a foodie, they're not afraid of Brussels sprouts or whatever. They've had an opportunity to learn how to eat things. Okay, so don't deny them that pleasure, even if it's not a pleasure for you. It might be for them. Okay. So that's food. So you do your food, and you make a grocery list. Make a grocery list. What are you missing to complete these meals that you've created from your freezer, your pantry, and your refrigerator? What are you missing? Well, I'm going to have steak that one night. I'm going to get some steak. I have plenty of baked potatoes. I can make baked potatoes. I have enough stuff to make a pea salad or whatever it is you want to have with it. So maybe you just need steak. And then you've got chicken, and you're going to make chicken and rice. You've got chicken, you've got rice, you've got celery, you've got onion, you've got everything you need except chicken bouillon. Write it down. What are you going to serve with it? Write it down, unless you have it. Okay, that's how you make your grocery list. Now, once you've made your grocery list, you're going to have to estimate how much that costs, because we're about to get into the budget, the second part, finances. So you have a budget for how much money a month on groceries. Divide that into how many times you're grocery shopping. Are you grocery shopping 4 times a month? Then divide that into four. So if you have a family of 4, you may be spending, I'm just going to say $800 a month. Okay, that may be too high, maybe too low, but I'm just going to give you a nice round number. So it's $200 a week that you can spend. And that would include baby diapers, formula, cleaning products, laundry detergent. You know, you have to work it all in there. You can't just pull that out of nowhere. It has to come from somewhere, and you're getting it at the grocery store, so it's going to be part of your grocery budget. So if you need to increase it, that's where you would increase it, because of those things. Tin foil, saran wrap, etc. Okay, baggies, garbage bag liners. I could go on and on. Okay, so now we're going to make up our budget. We're going to look at our budget and say, okay, am I going to be in budget? Is this going to cost me $200 or less? It's going to cost me less. Awesome, I'm in budget. Now we're going to look at the rest of our budget and see if the rest of our household items are falling in budget. If you don't have a budget, you need to make a budget. If you don't know how to make a budget, then I suggest that you go find something that will help you make a budget. I've made videos on it before, and there's one in particular called You Need a Budget, YNAB. I think you can find it online. That helps you make a budget. So there you go. Once you've got your budget and you've looked and seen if you're on budget, which is how you stay on budget, is determining that you will, the magic moment of making the decision, then you're going to pay your bills, which are also budgeted for. You know that your light bill is going to be between this and this. At least that's where it is, how it is here. I know some places you can pay a flat fee all year long. They'll average it out for you. But pay your bills. Any bills due now or any bills that you have that you want to pay ahead, you can go ahead and do that. As long as you have the budget for it and it's in the bank. You want to balance your checking account and make sure that there is money in the bank and it's what you think it is. And then when you're through with the finance part, you're going to go into the inbox part, and that's all the things you put in your inbox during the week when you got the mail, or if you've been decluttering through paper. Anything that's inbox worthy is something that you need to file or take action on. So that's what's in the inbox. You're going to take the time now to file it or take action on it. Pay it, contact somebody, put it in your planner, whatever it is. When you're through with that part, we're going to go into the planner itself and plan out the next week. So for at-home homemakers, I'd like you to plan from Sunday to Saturday of the next week. For payroll homemakers, I also want you to plan for Saturday from Sunday to Saturday of the next week. Even though it's already Sunday, you can plan. Actually, yours will be Monday to Sunday of the next week because you're already in Sunday. So plan it out. Plan out what you're going to do. What day are you going to do what? Have you decided as a payroll person that you're going to split up your weekly home blessing hour? Then you need to know what you're going to do each day. What are you going to do in your zone this weekend? When are you going to get the clutter checks done? Are you going to delegate anything? Okay, so that's weekly. The weekly plan, the planning and desk day. It takes time. You have to be thoughtful. You have to be planful and learn to enjoy this time because it's going to give you such control. It's like finally taking the wild horses, pulling the carriage out of control and grabbing the reins and going, whoa, boys, and saying, okay, now let's go. And you're controlled and you're rolling because you're controlled and you have control of the reins. So this is giving you control of the reins instead of just being on a wild ride. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. How are you doing on planning and desk day? Have a wonderful day. Always remember that you are beautiful, so be beautiful.